Hey, welcome to episode 2 of my violin tutorials. Today we are looking at different arpeggios and violin positions. There will also be a song to learn this week at the end of the episode. Arpeggios. An arpeggio helps us become more familiar with the note, as it requires you to play every other note. As a result of this, it sounds like you're skipping notes. Here is a major arpeggio. It is similar to the Ionian or major scale, but I am playing every other note. Here's the minor arpeggio, or Aeolian arpeggio. Remember, Aeolian mode has that flat third, flat 6, and flat 7, which makes it different from the major arpeggio. Speaking of intervals, in next week's episode we will discuss how you can alter every single interval in the major and minor scale to create different scales and different arpeggios. Jazz musicians especially love using different modes to improvise on different types of chords. After you work on the major and minor arpeggios, we will discuss minor seventh, major seventh, diminished, and dominant seventh arpeggios and scales. So there are 14 positions on violin that can all be intermingled and played with each other. For example, you may have played the G major all the way up through the first position, but you can change the finger and shift your hands upwards to change them. This D, for instance, on the G major scale, can be played from the third finger to the second. This essentially shifts your hand upwards and can allow you to play F with your fourth finger on the A string instead of playing F with your first finger on the E string. Try playing the major scale on each string with your first finger going all the way up to recognize the fact that you can play the same note on each string. Now there's third position. This generally always starts on the low G, on the C note, and you can play it with your index finger. It ends on D on the high E string. Now there's fourth position, which starts on D on the G, which is up from C, and then it ends on E on the E string, on the high E. These positions can be helpful to understand, but most music is played interchangeably between them. So you can practice them, but understand if you want to get a massive familiarity with them, learning songs is the best way to do it. Two songs that are really good to practice positions are the Kreutzer etudes. Number 1 and number 2. They are very good songs and pieces to learn and understand how composers shift pieces. Make sure you practice with a metronome and try to match the notes with the numbers that the composer writes. If that confuses you, try and practice with a metronome and try to match the notes in the video that I'm playing and the fingering with your playing.